What's up, everyone? Jake Berlin with Apocalypse Movies, and this is my review of the new horror film, Lights Out. Lights Out is a feature film that is based on a short film by the same director. It stars Teresa Palmer, Maria Bello, a handful of other actors and actresses. Small-time horror film. Runtime is only an hour and 20 minutes long, and that is definitely one of its strengths. Starting off with my positives, it's a perfect runtime. You know, you may think hour 20 minutes doesn't seem very long, kind of feels like a long TV episode. It works perfectly. And in horror movies, sometimes they get a little too long. You want to get it straight to the point, and this movie gets off, it runs straight from the get-go. And it does a great job of just getting into it, and it finishes strong. And like I said, the hour 20 minutes, it's a great asset of the movie. A couple other positives. The psychological, I'm a huge fan of psychological horror. Like, I like the jump scares and everything, but when a movie makes you think and it kind of gets inside your head, especially a horror movie, that's when I enjoy it the most. And that's what Lights Out does. It does have jump scares, but it makes you think and it gets inside your head, and it makes you think of what you do in that situation, and what would you do if that was happening to you, or maybe it literally makes you sleep with the light on that night, and like it has a very good psychological scare to it, and that's why I enjoyed it so much, is because that kind of horror film attracts me. Also, another positive, the performances. I thought Teresa Palmer and Maria Bello especially did a great job in their roles as mother and daughter, conflicted mother and daughter, and as well as the little boy who plays the little brother and son. I thought they did a great job. Again, you don't need a ton of talent to do horror movies. We see so many horror movies a year with people unknown. But this is a small-time horror movie with big-time elements, and there's some great actresses in there that did a great job in the movie and in the roles that really elevated the film, in my opinion anyway. So again, some positives. Psychological scares for sure. It makes you think all the way through. Its runtime, it helps it so much by being shorter and getting to the point, and the performances. But of course, not all movies are perfect, especially when it comes to horror movies. There's only a handful of horror movies that are top-notch, perfect. And so some of the negatives for me, speaking of psychological horrors, the jump scares were just okay to me. There were a few that got you, but I'm not so scared of horror movies. Like, I go in very excited, looking forward to, and I always look for a movie to really scare me. There wasn't one scare that I can remember that really made me jump or like kind of sit back in my seat, which I was hoping for. But again, the psychological horrors and scares really elevated that it kind of made me sit back and just be okay with the jump scares. But that's just me personally. So someone else who can go in a movie and check it out, they might get really scared from the jump scares, and more power to you. Another negative, my final negative actually, is the ending was a little bit predictable. As you're going through the film, the story starts unfolding. You can tell where it's headed, and which is fine. But it was the only outcome of the movie. So as you're getting to the end, you're like, oh, okay, that's going to happen. Which was a little bit unfortunate because it was so strong, and it was a quick ending. It was a little bit predictable, but it didn't ruin the film for me at all. It's just how it ended. That's the only result that could have happened, and so that was definitely a negative for me. Again, running through my positive and negatives. Positive, the psychological scare, performances, and runtime. Negatives, jump scares were just okay, and the ending was a little bit predictable. I highly recommend you checking out this movie. I was actually able to see it at a drive-in, so it's a little bit more creepier. It's getting great reviews all around. It's definitely one of the better horror movies to come out in the last so many months. It's a summer horror movie, which is perfect. And yeah, it's definitely a scary movie. It's a great story. There's some good stuff in there, and I definitely check it out. And as well as the short film it's based on, which is by the same director. I've heard that's some great stuff. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but I've heard it's fantastic, and I look forward to checking that out as well. So again, my name is Jake Berlin. You can find me every day on apocalypsemovies.com, Twitter and Instagram at QuigonJake. Check out everything we got going on here on Apocalypse, the YouTube channel. We got the Padawan Podcast, Rumor Central, all our movie reviews. We got tons of cool stuff going on here. And thank you for subscribing and hitting that like button. And until next time, see you later.